So, you're looking into a frameless backpack, but you're not sure it's the right thing for you. Well, today I'm going to talk about things to consider before asking yourself, am I ready? Hey everyone, I'm Frozen and I've received this question a surprising number of times over the past couple months. And each time, my answer has been, no, you aren't ready for a frameless pack. And I'm not trying to be one of those stuck-up ultralighters that only cares about my base weight. I think there's legit a lot of confusion surrounding this topic. As I started getting lighter and lighter with my gear over the years, I found that I really didn't need a full frame on my pack. I've been using frameless backpacks for about 5 years now, and what I can advise is you really need to have your gear dialed in before thinking about crossing over. Now, before I switched, my base weight was hovering around 11 pounds. Now, base weight is defined as any gear you bring with you on a trip that isn't food, fuel, water, or other consumables. After going frameless, I was right under that 10-pound range, which I feel is the perfect base weight to start considering a frameless pack. Now, you can swap over before that, but I absolutely don't recommend that, especially if you're on the fence. The reason being is that pack with a frame is designed to split up the weight of your backpack between your shoulders and your hips. With a frameless pack, without a hip belt at least, it's obviously going to rest solely on your shoulders. And if you aren't used to that weight, you're gonna feel it after only a few miles. Here's what I mean. This is a pack with a frame. It's my Z-Packs Arc Haul. I used it exclusively a few years ago. It's a simple design frame with 2 stays that transfer pack weight to your hips. When you tighten your hip belt around you and pull the load lifters, you're removing some or even most of the pack weight off your shoulders. A frame also gives your backpack rigidity and structure, which I'll come back to in just a second. A frameless backpack can come with a hip belt or without. For most of my hiking, I opt to not use a hip belt, but when I'm carrying extra gear in colder weather, I use a removable hip belt, or sometimes I even opt for a pack with a frame. Now this is due to the increased base weight. At a 10-pound base weight, I feel fine carrying a frameless pack, but say at a 14-pound base weight, it can make my shoulders sore. This is the case if I'm carrying extra water or I plan on being out for an extended amount of time, which for me is like 6 days or more, or in the winter months when I'm carrying extra insulation. An extra 4 pounds might not seem like a lot, but for me, it's like night and day with my body type. I can feel that weight resting on my shoulders, and having something as simple as a little 1-inch piece of webbing as my hip belt, that's enough to make it feel comfortable again. But at some point, you may be wishing you had that old backpack with your trusty frame. I mentioned before about rigidity and structure, and another big piece to this frameless backpacking puzzle is how you pack your backpack. I feel this is key to comfort too. You can't just toss things inside a frameless backpack because you're gonna feel even the tiniest bit of that protruding cook kit or food bag. Packing is now more of a complex process and things need to fit in there like a jigsaw puzzle. Now, for those experienced backpackers, you're probably packing like this already, but it's still something to consider. When I'm finished packing up, I lay my backpack on the ground and I press on the pack to form a small indentation, a flat area, if you will, for my back to rest upon. And I also make sure that flat area has nothing sticking out of it as to not go into my back. A sit pad can also be used to help with this issue, and as a bonus, it provides an extra frame-like support both inside or outside if the pack accepts it. By packing carefully, you can make your gear the frame of your backpack without the weight penalty of having a structural frame. Now that I've thoroughly scared you away from going frameless, I'm sure some of you are asking yourself, dude, what's the point then? Okay, so here's what a frameless backpack does for me. Because I don't have the added weight of a frame, it immediately lowers my base weight by almost a pound. It feels more comfortable not having a hip belt too. I couldn't reach the side pockets of my hip belt anyway, so now I carry a fanny pack stocked with snacks I eat throughout the day. Now, in addition to not having a cushioned hip belt, it's also helped my lower areas breathe better, and I don't suffer nearly as much chafing as I used to. Frameless packs are super simple as well. They're basically just a cylinder with some shoulder straps attached to it, and there aren't an absorbent amount of adjustments here and there. And that's pretty much what I'm after these days, simplicity. Personally, I think once you get situated, the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and the experience just feels overall better. But it does take some practice to set everything up right for sure. So, I want to hear your opinions about frameless backpacking. Do you think you'll try it? And if not, what's holding you up? Let me know if you have any questions I can answer down below in the comments. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the trail.